Hello awesome people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Getty and this is One Gem. So today we are talking about how I became a fashion designer, a self-taught fashion designer. I think the first step is to acquire the basic skills of sewing. So you generally need to know how to sew. That is the first step, and I'm happy to inform you that I will be starting a new course for a beginner's course for whoever wants to start sewing. All you have to do is email me at onegemfashions@gmail.com. I'll also put the email at the link and you can register. But we do have limited spaces. I will only be taking 10 participants. So yeah, number one is definitely to learn how to sew. You should have the basic skills of sewing, and that is generally the first step. Step number two is you should know how a fashion business works. You should have an idea of how a fashion business works. It's actually up to you. If you want to be designing, you design, you manufacture and you sell your products, or you will be just buying already made items that you're selling, or you will be designing and giving someone to sew for you, like a seamstress to sew for you. So you should know exactly what kind of fashion business you are getting into. For instance, I knew I wanted to make my garments myself, so the first step was to learn the basic skills of sewing. And then once I knew that, I then started thinking, what do I want to make? Do I want to make men wear? Do I want to make women wear? Do I make kiddies wear? So that is also like how you should decide on your niche. What do you want to make? All right, because it's always good for people to identify your brand with whatever you are making. You don't want to be making all different kinds of things and then people are not sure like what exactly, so take time to really think about what kind of fashion business you are going to go into. All right. Tip number three is understanding and learning the different types of fabrics and what kind of dresses or garments you can create with those different types of fabrics. We have a variety of fabrics, and they are mostly used for different types of outfits. So take time to learn them and also be familiar with what is available on the market. So you should visit shops like Chelsea, Misha's, Chinatown, the fabric shops. You should look at the different types of material they have, the quality, and then you can have an idea, because sometimes the fabric inspires the design, and then sometimes the design is the one that inspires the fabric. So you should learn and be familiar with the different types of fabric that we have and the price ranges, etc. Yeah, so that is know your fabrics. The next step is you should get a business name and a logo. So you do want people to identify your business. You should have a name and a logo. So like you all know, my fashion business is One Gem Fashion, and I mostly cater for women wear from the ages of 25 to around 45, yeah, so roughly, and those are usually my target market. So you should have a business name, and so I would advise that you come up with a name, come up with something catchy, something you would like to be associated with, because it's kind of permanent, because people will always associate with the first name they came across, even if you go rename or whatever. So think about it. Take time to think about it, and come up with a business name and a logo. So yeah, you can also contact some of these graphic designers to design the logo for you, or you can do it yourself. There are a lot of a lot of apps that you can use to design your own logo. Like for myself, I designed my own logo using Canva, and I also make most of my posters using Canva. So yeah, and it's free, so you can use apps and softwares like that. Number 5 is start marketing. Start marketing. You have to market your product. Like for now, I think we are really like born at a great time, like the perfect era, because we have a lot of tools that we can use to advertise. Like for example, Instagram, and I feel like we don't really use it to we don't maximize it. So there's a lot of ways that you can advertise. For myself, like for OneGem, I mostly advertise on Facebook and Instagram. And another thing is also to reach out to influencers, and then you can offer them the product, or you can pay them for them to post it on their stories. And because usually influencers have a larger audience, so if you can just push your product to get out there, it will really be worth it. So yeah, that's actually something I personally have to improve on, like marketing the brand, making sure that it reaches a bigger audience. Okay, the last step is to start small. You don't want to rush into it, like buying the most expensive sewing machine. Or I think ease into it. You start with a easy to use starter sewing machine, then you attend a short course, or and then you start sewing, and let it be gradual. Give yourself time to get into it and really know if you are patient enough to do it, because guys, making clothes is not easy. Some days you're just like, yo, should I just give up or what? So you should it should be a passion, like you should be determined to do it, and that's the only way you can actually succeed in it. So give your time to start small. Don't invest too much at once. Take gradual baby steps. And the same applies with your business. Once you start, don't like make like large number of like maybe clothes or whatever at once. Make 1, 2, wear them, and be your own model. Wear them, see if people like them, and then from there you can maybe push out a sample or a collection or an item that you want to see how the market will react to it, because you don't want to use up so much money to buy fabric and so much energy to create the item, and then the people don't really like it, they don't buy it. So give yourself time, and also just be mindful of not producing too much unless you are very sure that there's a market for it. So always make like a tester, like just make a design, put it on Instagram, Facebook, see how the people are responding to it, if they like it or not. Then you can push it out. Now you can make it in bulk and push it out. Alright, so those are the little tips. Those are the little tips I can give you to just encourage you, or like give you a bit of direction if you are starting your fashion business. Yeah. As for me, I started how I started was back in 2013. I think I made my first dress in 2013, and I was having a part-time job that time, and I just things. I was having a part-time job that time, and I just bought a sewing machine, standard one. I think it was 1 point something. Bought a sewing machine, got the CD that the sewing machine came with, and I started watching YouTube videos on how to do it. And that's how I basically learned. And how I learned is I started with easy things. I didn't get into difficult things. I started things that don't have, they don't have pockets and zips, those complicated things. I just started with elastics and stretchable material, and that's how once I started getting the confidence, I then moved into more complicated fabrics to use, like the ones that don't stretch, chiffons. Yeah, that's how it was. Kind of a gradual. It didn't just happen overnight. So even if you have started and you are frustrated, like you feel like you are not moving forward, just keep pushing, don't give up. I know it's sometimes labor intensive, like so much hours, and then sometimes in the price you are asking for it, you feel like it's not worth the hours. But once you become good at it, once you have that skill, it will get easier. Like some of the garments that I used to make that will take me maybe like 6-7 hours, now I can do them like in 2-3 hours. So I think it gets better with time. The more you sew, the better you become, the faster you become, and the easier it gets for you to look at something and be like, I'll be able to make it, or I won't be able to make it. So you should also be confident, like to tell your people like, no, I cannot. If someone is coming to you with a design, you should be able to say that I won't be able to make that, or can we maybe make certain changes to the design in such a way that I can make it, then saying yes, you can do it, and then when you try, you can't. So yeah, those are some of the points I can give you guys. All right, I think this is the end of the video. So if you watch till the end, it means you kind of like my content. So I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, and just give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and it will help my video reach a bigger audience. So by commenting, thumbs up, subscribing, it will help, like it will help with this YouTube settings, and yeah, so that it can just push my video to reach a larger audience. Yeah, I think I'm going to end here today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.